Welcome back. Episode 2 of the Tapped In podcast. You'll notice it's the same day as last video, but we are kind of crunch on time. It's hard getting all together, so when we do get together, we're going to knock out a couple of them. So this is episode 2, and I think today we're going to talk about our worst seasons.
Yeah, episode 2, we decided on seeing how we're right around the corner of starting the season. I know it seems like Christmas, but these bigger guys got to get some holes drilled. We're going to be running some line this next week, as we talked about in the last one. So, hey, let's kick it off and say what went wrong. This isn't all. As
Abigail said in one of my YouTube videos, it ain't all rainbows and sunshine around here.
Yeah, is that
a quote from Rocky Balboa?
It might have been.
So there's definitely some bad stuff that happens, right? And you're always going to learn from those, but
when you're dealing with nature, it can't always go good.
Right. Sometimes it's comical. Sometimes
usually it
costs you some cabbage.
It did, and I had one of those seasons, not last season, but the season before. I remember it just like it was yesterday. So I'm in the game to make money. I'm not, I'm at that level where I'm doing it strictly to make money. So every move counts, and a lot of you guys know that. It was 2 years ago, and I had to go away for the weekend. So I left the old man in charge. And so one of my woods is flat. You hear me talk about that in a lot of my videos. I have like 1% pitch for like 2,000 feet. It's terrible. Comes down through the swamp. There's some hemlocks in there, so it lays cold. I fixed it last year. I got a little bit more pitch out of it, but I'm going to talk about where I had the problem. So that woods, usually the sun comes up, it's beating the trees thaw out, and the trees start running, but it can't get down the main because the mains are still frozen from the night before. So being that it's fairly flat, probably they're 1.5 inches or it's 1.25 inches wet line. It's probably 3/4 full of ice because it's froze, because it doesn't have the good pitch. It's not a problem. You kind of know when it's going to go. Right about 11 o'clock, usually it's going to unthaw, and you're going to have a flood in the releaser, and you got to sit there, babysit your valves.
Yep.
Because if you don't, the sap's going to fill up in there so fast, it's going to suck it up the vacuum line, and it's going to go over in the moisture trap, kick the float, and shuts the vacuum off to the woods. It's not a big deal. You just got to be there to make sure you catch it.
Right.
So I went out of town, and I explained it to the old man, what's going to happen, when to be there, blah, blah, blah.
How to do it.
Right. So he goes over there. He checks it like at 9:30, 10. He says, it's running in. He says, I think everything's good. I said, I don't know, man. I think you should stay there. I said, I don't trust it. So he left. He came back, and it was still running in. He left again, but when he left the second time, he didn't come back till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And when
probably had to get breakfast.
What time did you leave the second time?
Probably noonish.
Lunch.
But when he came back the second time, the sap was all over the floor in the pump house. So he calls me. He's like, why is your sap all over the pump house floor? And I knew exactly why, because what had happened was it sucked the sap up in the vacuum line. It shuts the vacuum off. Now the whole releaser is full. There's no vacuum in the releaser. It's just leaking out the ends. So we went just about 6 hours with sap backed up into the tap holes.
And it's not getting into your tanks, right? Because your releaser pumps it up.
It's an electric releaser.
Right.
But what I'm getting at is I had no vacuum on my woods.
Correct.
All that sap backed up the whole network, and it was in my tap holes. You know what happens when sap gets in your tap hole?
Bacteria.
Lots of it.
And this was what time of the year? Season. What time in the season? Early?
Mid
part of the. So you got half your season to go.
Right.
And now you got possible bacteria.
Because what does bacteria do for the hole? Like it starts closing the hole, right?
It won't close it instantly, but you'll see later on down the line, they'll shut right down.
Right. Like you won't get as much longevity out of a hole.
Exactly. The whole key is to keep the sap out of that tap hole.
Right.
So that year, I couldn't figure out, why did my sap stop running before Jason's did? Like I was done probably a week before he was.
Right.
And I lost a lot of production because I just saw raw sap. So, I lost a lot of production that year, and I couldn't figure out why. Then I realized why.
Well, that's like another misconception, right? Like people think you just drill a hole, put a spout in it, and call it good. No. You have to keep everything so clean. I mean, it's a living organism.
Tight.
And then you got to change the taps every year. You put an old tap back in a hole, you're gonna have bacteria. You're gonna ruin your whole setup again.
That's one of my biggest bills. It's about $4,000.
Right.
Buying new spouts. I gotta dump that bill
every year. Yeah.
Pretty quick. But so I probably lost $12,000 right there because of that.
Right.
One mistake.
So, yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah, I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
man.
that's a hit no matter what you're doing. And like you said, you're selling sap per tap. So you need to break it down. I got X amount of taps. I'm paying X amount for those trees because you have leases.
Yes.
And I need to make this. Otherwise, why are we doing this, right? I mean, so losing that amount of taps or sap, first of all, went on the ground. That sucks.
Yeah.
And you lost some production throughout the year because it shut down a week and a half early.
Yeah, you lose everything. You lose production. Now you contaminated your tap hole, so now you're going to lose on the long run.
Right.
Because everything is about the tap hole. Like people, this is what I've learned through the years. It's all about keeping that tap hole free of bacteria. That's why you can drill in January. You have 0 leaks on your vacuum system, not introducing air into the system. It's like the best analogy is when you cut yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically, your body wants to start healing that wound. Well, in the maple business, you're trying to keep that tree from healing its wound.
Right.
So you keep it free of bacteria and free of air. It'll run forever. People don't understand that.
It's like an infection almost. Like you got to think, like when you cut yourself and you get open to air and you get open to all the stuff you're doing during the day, it'll create an infection and you'll get hurt. Mm-hmm. Well, straight is the same thing. You drill it and keep it clean, it'll be okay. Mm-hmm. You drill the hole and let it get dirty, it'll get an infection in the tree, and then an infection. It's not like an actual infection.
I have people come up to me all the time. How can you tap? You guys tap trees that early? I said, well, number one, the big producers like the 50, 60, 200,000. It takes them.
They've been tapping since
months.
Before December.
So you have to start early. You have to start like late December. Early. 1st of January. So number one, it takes that long, and you have to keep the system tight. If you're not the kind of guy that wants a pound of woods every day, you're not going to make any syrup. You have to keep it leak free.
Or as much.
Yeah, like as soon as you see, like for me, I have my VFD drive on my vacuum pump. If that thing is not sitting on 0, I'm in the woods.
Right.
And it just takes a special person to be like that, man. It's not easy.
When you talk about the time it takes to tap, like I think this is a little off topic, but you think about all the AI stuff, and we've been using AI to start this podcast and everything, and everyone's saying AI is coming for all our jobs, right?
It ain't coming.
Maple is one of those that AI is not going to be able to find me a robot that's going to go out and tap trees
if you could find
in 2 feet of snow in the pouring rain.
I will hire 10 robots.
Exactly.
I will buy a robot to help me but it's not going to hang in the woods.
And it's not going to be able to look at the tree and say, well, here's a hole from 3 years ago we have to avoid.
Right.
Correct.
So that's like one of the nice things about the maple industry is it's kind of right. I mean, I'm sure eventually they'll have something, but right now it's like you need a human involved at least 95% of the time. I mean, like when we're evaporating, you have the auto draw offs and stuff.
Right. So real quick, because we're gonna touch on that. What was the problem? What went wrong? I mean, you explained it. What went wrong? In this paper that we had written down, was it equipment issues?
It could. Yeah, I mean, there's a valve I ended up buying that I put in there for that problem.
Okay.
Yep, there is.
So it wasn't.
Oh yeah, that one you
wasn't really a vacuum or timing. It might have been mental burnout.
It wasn't mental burnout because I wasn't at home, man. It's the old man, and he felt terrible, but like he did. I told him you can't walk away. I'm sure every producer has dealt with this. When it thaws out in the morning, everything's backed up. Think about the thousands of feet of network you got up. And when that baby lets go, those 1.25 inch pipes will run full for 20, 25 minutes.
Yep.
So you're talking about an equipment failure. So there was a valve that I bought that you put in the vacuum line, and there's 2 probes that go in there. It's called a sap spy. I'm giving you a little love, Jeff. But I bought 2 of them. They're not cheap, but I put them in. It's basically those probes you sit just below the float. So when the sap hits those probes, it shuts the vacuum off. You can't suck that vacuum up through the vacuum line and have that shut down. But
it doesn't shut your pump off. So like when
my pump still runs.
So when it goes down, it turns the pump back on.
Yeah, it basically there's a valve right in that vacuum line. It just closes, so it can't suck the sap in. Makes sense.
Which is awesome.
I did see that on your video. That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, because
you're not losing vacuum to the trees.
No,
you still have it. It's just not letting it.
Yep, it doesn't, because when that sap fills up so fast, I mean, it's like a flood, dude. It's crazy. It'll fill up and it can't pump it out fast enough. And once it gets to about that close to that vacuum line, that 3-inch vacuum line, it'll suck it right up in there, just like that. Right. So I bought these valves. Jason found them. Jason's my go-to guy. He finds everything, and they're expensive, but I think they're $80 a piece. But I put 1 in each of my releasers.
When it saves you $12,000, $80 is worth it.
Because when I'm over at One Woods messing around, how am I supposed to be over here watching this? So there's money that you can spend that's well spent. That's probably the best
That's a
money
good
ever
investment right
spent.
there, right?
So on that bad season, that's a little touch on one thing that could go wrong, and hopefully you got that problem rectified.
We did last year. Like, I get better every year too. Like, it's just, I don't care. I'm 49 years old. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out. Like, I'm getting, each year you get better and better.
Mhm.
If at least that's what you try to do.
Absolutely,
Like
right.
last year, I had that same woods that I lost. I had the best season in that woods last year from the first year I tapped it. It's 6 years old.
There you go.
And get this, same drops.
Same drop
Same
lines.
drops.
People ain't gonna want to hear that one.
Yeah, they recommend 3 years on those bad boys.
But I ended up putting check valves in that wood.
Recommendations.
I mean, the check valve is because I look at it like this: if it's flat, you're going to have problems with flow.
Sure.
So I put the check valve in there ever since that day, and that has helped me big time because now the sap can't go back in the tap hole.
I'm gonna be interested to see because the line we got now, we got one line here. It's got good flow. It's got good slope, but these have even more yet.
More pitch, yeah.
More pitch yet. I think we got 200 foot from the top tap to the bottom tap.
And
It's only going to be 12, 15 taps.
So don't quote me on this, but I don't think you'll ever find a professional, one of these professional guys like Glenn Goodrich and all these guys. I don't think they're ever going to say you got too much pitch.
Oh, no.
I think the more pitch, because think about it, the more pitch you got, when it's done running at the end of the night, there's nothing left.
Good clean it out.
It'll be
Right.
dry. It won't be perfectly dry, but if you can keep that line dry,
Right.
starts running faster, better production.
But I will say, 2 years ago.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that because we're going to get into that before the end of this. The little bit of the difference, not just size, but of the setup we got. We're going to get into that. We'll touch on it real quick. But talking the bad season, Dano spilled his beans, how much he lost there.
Oh, I did.
What about you? Did you have a bad season,
So-
whether it be with your own thing
Yeah.
or
So I haven't had my own seasons enough to have a really bad screw up yet. I mean, I had to dump some sap here and there and yada yada because you let it sit too long because you run out of time. But had been 3 years ago, maybe it was only 2 years ago. It doesn't matter. I was down with my grandfather. We were boiling down there, and he just got a new RO.
Yep.
And so we were ROing it higher than he'd ever RO'd it before. It was like 12% or something. They were so happy, like, oh, we got it so high. Well, what ended up happening was it was going through the evaporator so fast that it hydro locked the preheater. And so no sap was flowing into the arch, but sap was still flowing out of the syrup side.
What do you mean?
so what they had is a preheater copper pipe inside the steam hood.
Right, just ripping.
So the steam was heating it. Well, the syrup or the sap in there.
was making syrup in the preheater?
No, but it was flowing through the system so fast.
Right.
It wasn't designed to go through that fast, and it just stopped somehow in the preheater. It
Yeah.
wasn't coming out of the
He
preheater.
basically vapor locked his preheater system
So
because
there's no
it was
sap,
so hot.
no sap flowing into the flue pan, which meant no sap flowing into the front pan. And my grandfather, of course, all the cousins are there. Everyone's there, right? And I'm sitting there watching it. He goes, "You got it for a second?" I go, "Oh, yeah, I got it for a second." He ran down to get my cousin a drink from the barn, and I look down and I see a black sludge coming out of the pipe there. And I
Really?
said, "Uh-oh." I said, that looks weird. Because it was a brand new draw off, too. So I'm
Out
like,
of the
maybe,
draw off,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, maybe it's, look at the temperature, and it says 465. And I said, uh-oh.
man.
I go, "Hey, Pop, we got problems." And then I come back inside, and the whole, I'm not even kidding, the whole front pan went whoosh, one massive flame.
Fireball.
Like, I bet you there was flame coming out of the steam stack.
Wow.
It was like, I'm like, "We got big problems." We started just dumping water in the pan, and it was just, we were
caught
cutting
a
out
whole front pan right on fire.
all the foam lit right on fire. It was
Man.
465. Anyone doesn't know, syrup's 218. So we were reading 465, and I said, "This isn't good."
Did it ruin that pan?
It warped it a little bit, but it wasn't ruined by any stretch.
Right.
It warped the pan a little bit. And now that was 2 years ago, and they got a brick. That pan they had replaced it. It was only like 3 years old.
Were they able to continue the season?
Yeah, we end up the next day we acid boiled it after we scraped it.
Well, and
acid
they
boiled
did
it.
have another pan, a spare, I think.
We had a spare, but we were able to clean the one and we
Right.
used it. We had a spare in case we needed it,
Right.
but it was the lead solder one, and it was, it wasn't the new stainless steel one. So we ended up cleaning it enough to get 2 more years out of it, and now they bought a brand new evaporator this year. But that was rough. It went from literally pouring out syrup to sludge like that. But when you look, the flues were exposed.
Were you there, Scoon?
No, I wasn't, but I did hear. I came later that day. So
It
what
was
I did
not
write
good.
down here, and in both cases, people don't understand that this new automated system, yeah, they're good. I mean, But no matter what you have to babysit it.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter if, I mean, you're every day or every year you're trying to upgrade with your new system that you don't have to babysit as much.
Right.
But you also have blink cameras on to babysit. I mean, or if you're boiling, you can't leave when things are happening.
Especially wood fire.
Right. Somebody needs to be there that knows.
I did leave a fire unattended one time in my day working with Marty when we were making syrup years ago. I had to go up, check the tank, man. It was a quick trip, man. About 100 mile an hour up, 100 mile an hour back.
Yeah.
Like you say, you can't walk. When you take your eye off that, man, something's
going to happen. Yeah, it's so touchy.
It's like a small child.
When you're dealing with temperature, especially in the syrup, sap, you're dealing with sap. But when you're dealing with temperature that 2 degrees could be 2 degrees over, no good.
Yep.
2 degrees under, you can help it. But
yeah,
you have to be precise on this. And I think that's one thing that people definitely don't understand. We'll touch on that probably in every video.
I tell you what, though, I've never seen a group of guys check a float box going into the flute pan ever again in my life. You'll see someone checking that float box go into that flute pan.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Could have burnt the whole building down. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? It's just standing there.
It was I look at it, I go, whoosh, I go, oh my God. It was terrible.
It happens, man.
And I know,
like I say, it was literally from the time it was drawing syrup to the time we had a massive flame was all of 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I know with Jason, when Jason gets his big rig going, what's that, a 5x16 or I think it is? Like he's going high concentrate, like 19%. Like he sits there with a garden hose. He's got a hose because every time you shut down, that back pan is really sweet. So it takes, when you start back up, it takes a bit for that to get in and get off. And a lot of times he might start making syrup on that back.
Right.
So this temperature spiking on the front pan, so you just, it's just water. It's going to evaporate, but just spray a little bit of water on that and let that drop down and help that get off.
Right.
That's the one thing that's thinking about maple is like if you get a little high or you get like, if you get your syrup a little bit past, just throw some water back in and it dilutes
you have
it back down.
that hose. I don't care who you are, and I'm going to have it in my setup. You'll see a garden hose coiled right up there because that's your lifesaver right there.
Yeah.
And when I first started at my father-in-law's, I was always wondering, they were wood, no water, just like we don't have water in here. He always had 2 pails sitting at the back of the arch, right? So of either sap or clean water.
Oh, yeah.
And I always remember asking, why do you have that? Well, now you know. Same thing,
Someday
right?
you need it,
Something happens, a float sticks, whatever. You need to emergency dump in some material. So.
And one good thing too, like he's using firewood. I don't know how many people are still burning wood out there, but boy, that's a nice thing about like gas or oil. You just flip the switch, turn a switch, and it's done.
We had that
fire burning with them coals, man. It takes a long time.
And the fire brick and everything. Because we had at my high school, we had propane, 3-burner propane on a 2x4, and I said, "Man, it ain't gonna be much. I already know what I'm doing." Oh my God! You flip that valve and it's like zero heat. The boil stops. I'm like, totally new to me. I'm like, I'm sold.
That's nice too. At the end of the night, after a long night, you just want to leave.
Yeah.
Just turn it off.
Here we gotta save ourselves like 15 gallons of sap.
I've been there, man. I know.
Maybe not 15 with this small setup, but it's a lot. It is a lot nicer, but it's a little more. When you got 100 acres of land to pull firewood off for free, it's a little easier than getting a propane tank filled.
Brian Ryther, big producer. You guys know Brian?
Yeah.
He burns firewood.
Yeah.
I think last time I checked, it was like 60 quart a season.
That's a lot of firewood.
Dude, he's got a huge arch. He's got about 10,000 tap operation,
Yeah.
And that's where, especially, now the price of fuel's up, the price of propane, the price of everything's up, but the firewood guys really love ROs. Because you can't do, if you're doing a 300 tap operation with no RO, you're going to be boiling.
I wouldn't want to do an 80 tap operation like you do.
I've
been there.
Marty, you did it.
Boil 24 hours a day, every day. Like
you can't keep up.
Eating firewood, just throwing firewood away.
Right.
And I could not get them to we need an RO. Well, that changes the flavor. Well, that's a whole nother topic right there.
We could do
There's a whole episode on that.
We'll do that some other time. This is more like our mess ups,
right.
Like who, and everybody's had one. Everybody's been there.
You gotta have them. That's how you learn.
And the thing with maple, people don't realize like that window of opportunity. It's the weather. You don't get that back. Like everything has to be 100%. Your equipment has to be right. You got to be healthy. Everything has got to be, because you don't get those runs back. So if you miss that run, guess what? You're not getting it back.
Well, that was kind of the problem I run into. Like if you watch my videos, we started at a buddy's house and we've slowly migrated to this building here. that was kind of the problem I was having is my buddy was super busy with work, and he was like, well, I can't make it to boil tonight. We'll just boil tomorrow. I'm like, sorry, buddy, it's going to be 50 tomorrow. This sap's going to be junk.
When you tap those trees, I've said this, and people, this is my favorite line. You're married.
You are.
Yeah,
You are.
And quote me if I'm wrong. Once you tap those trees, I don't care where you are, what you're doing. It might not run for 3 weeks. Great. You can get other things done. But once those girls run, you're done. You got to be there. You got to gather it. You got to process it. You know what I mean? You got
because if you let that sap spoil and you have to dump it on the ground, you just wasted all of your time and effort.
Right, and you'll find, especially the old time maple producers, the old timers, more than us. It's like that is gold. You spill a little bit coming out of a bucket back in the day. Oh boy.
Well, you asked me when I hooked that pipe up every time. How much sap you lose out of that?
Yeah, I asked you that too.
I used to put a 7-gallon pail in there and catch it and carry it up and put it in the tank. Now I just pull away.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see like a lot of them big guys are like that too, but that is money going on the ground.
Especially when it's at 10%. 7 gallons of 10% would take us a long way.
Those drippings would take care.
Just give me your drippings.
Give me a couple drips, man. Just some drips.
And we had a bad season. I say when I was helping my father-in-law years ago, it was snow. So like I said in a prior episode, we had to take an old John Deere tractor with a wagon around to gather our sap around the farm. And we got 3 foot of snow. Oh, yeah. And we couldn't get.
So how you gonna drive a narrow front end 2-wheel drive tractor?
And we had guys that were shoveling in front of the wheels and just bucking trails. And finally,
I was not around for that. I'm glad I wasn't around for that.
He ended up getting a little dozer, John Deere dozer, and we could open the trails then to at least get around. Mm-hmm. Because same thing. Now we did all that work, or they did. You know, I was there when I could. They did all that work. And now you can't even get to it.
Yeah.
You can't get to it. So
that's sometimes, of course, usually the best runs of the season and when you can't get to it, right?
And you're literally spinning your wheels at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I took that into consideration when setting mine up. So we put tracks on the wheeler because I have to be able to access that hill.
Correct.
There's no way being a one-man operation that I could walk 6,600 taps in a day.
No.
It's virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Especially if the snow gets deep. So like you say, like I'm trying to spend money where it's really going to help me in the long run, being a one-man show. So I put tracks on a 4-wheeler and I built log roads. Like if this is the main right here, I got a log road right here. Another main here, another log road. Basically go down, come back. It's just like a maze of lines. Yep. And I can go through that woods in on the wheeler, checking leaks, probably about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
You know, because say sap's running, when I start processing, I'm not going to have time to be like the woods to me, the woods is the most important. Mm-hmm. That's where the money is made, in the woods. You're down there boiling, you got to make it to sell it, but the money is in the woods. So I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm going to get a big chiller tank so I can hold sap maybe a day, 3 days tops. So when it starts running in the morning, I'm in the woods checking leaks and then gather it and put it in there and RO it. And if I don't have to boil that night, I won't. I can boil it first thing in the morning before it starts running, be done boiling, and then go right back to the woods because you got to be in the woods.
Because sap you need to keep cold.
Has to be
correct. Cold. It's like milk, like the bulk tanks. You got to keep it cold, otherwise bacteria. Correct.
Bacteria, and it makes a darker syrup. It's just harder to process. All that.
Well, that's the other thing about sap too. Like where I was having trouble, you can't really hold sap over. You can, but as soon as that bacteria gets in there and starts eating that sugar, your sugar content goes down. So now you have 100 gallons of 2%. You let it sit a day. Now you got 100 gallons of 1%. You're going to make half the syrup you were going to make a day earlier.
Correct.
So it's
sorry about that, man.
Phone call.
Hi, hon.
Interruption.
Game's on.
Okay. The boss just
called.
Okay. Well, we're right in the middle of the podcast, so I'll see you at the game.
This is what we do with our business partners.
All right. Love you. Bye. Kids in sports.
She's on the podcast. There we go.
There you go.
She's on the podcast. She wasn't
going to be on.
I should have put it on speaker.
You should have seen it.
And but yeah, like the whole, it's just like you're going back to that whole sap thing. Like for the last 2 years, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we get that 70-degree day.
Yeah, always.
And that just cripples us because number one, the sap comes down. It comes out of the tree. It's cold, but when it's coming down the network, it's getting a little bit warmer. Comes into the tank.
Especially if your line's in the sun.
Right. And it gets a little bit warmer. Now you got to get it through the RO. Well, the RO is going to warm it up.
Yeah.
So then by the time it gets in the tank, I'm not saying it's like 50 degrees, but it's warm.
Warmer than I want it to be.
And the bacteria start, and then you got to haul it. Every time you put it through a pump, dump it in a tank, that's more microbes growing. So it's like the faster you could get this stuff processed, like if you have the setup, like you guys are going to have the perfect setup. Come right here to the building.
Exactly.
I don't have that luxury. I got to haul everything.
Yep.
But that's why I'm going chiller tank route, because if I can go through the RO and put it in a chiller tank up there on 80, keep it right there at 30, 32 degrees.
Or you got a chiller tank on 80 too.
I'm going to put one in there eventually. And then I'm going to have a big one in my building at the
farm.
Are
those like silos? Or how do those work?
It's kind of new, yeah. I talked to Sean up to D&G, and they're in the process of, they're just starting to come out with them. But no, they're elongated, like a milk house.
Okay.
Like a big bulk tank.
Yeah, bulk tank. They're making them like that. You can get them 3, 4, 5,000, however big you want, and they'll keep your sap.
How big are those tanks you got now?
Which ones?
In 80, those big ones.
Those are, what are those? 4,000 gallon, 4,100.
I thought they're bigger than that.
Yeah. So I got 8,200 between those two, and then the other two smaller 1,000.
Storage, yeah.
I guess that makes sense. That one out there.
Well, we can dive in. I want to do a whole thing on chiller tanks because that's new technology coming down the line.
Think any of those will be at that conference?
Possibly.
Might have some there.
Yeah.
Did we even say where that conference was last podcast? I know we said it was local.
I don't think we did. I'll put a caption.
It's
this one will come out after the
Cobleskill College, right?
It's going to be at Cobleskill.
Soon in Cobleskill.
Maybe by the time you're hearing this,
we might be there right now.
Might be there. Might be over. Who knows?
We got to figure out. There's another thing we didn't do at the last one. You guys need to let us know what you want. So give us some feedback. How long you want them? What days you want them? What times you want them? I'm thinking like a Monday morning, 6 a.m. release time or something like that.
Yeah, I don't care, but it is good to let us know. Give us a topic.
Right.
Yeah, give us some content. What you guys would like to hear us talk about. What are you guys dealing with?
Because you do have we're on the little side, as you can see, with a wood-fired arch. He's doing the bigger, medium size with selling sap right now and building a maple farm, which is going to be automated, a big scale system. Can't wait to see that.
Well, let me piggyback off that for a second. So the reason I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, I hate borrowing money. I'm sure everybody hates borrowing money.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty patient. I don't need it like right now, but I am running out of time. I'm going to be 50 here pretty soon. But so my mindset was, okay, I'm going to invest in the woods, sell the sap, then take that money, invest in the woods again. Each year, just keep building my tap count up to where I can get to 10 to 12,000. Because I know at 10,000, even at 9,000, I could do it full time. So that's how I'm doing it. I haven't borrowed a single penny yet for anything. The farm, nothing. But pretty soon, I am going to borrow money probably for the evaporator and the RO. Because I think I could pay that back in 1 season, 2 season tops.
Right.
So my mindset is I don't want a loan on all this stuff.
Correct.
I got my regular full-time job that helps feed that. So that's why it's taking me a little longer. But you can do this. You can tap trees, get a lease, take the money that you get from the sap that you sell and just put it back in every year.
Correct.
And that's how I've been growing my business.
And
I don't know if anybody really understands that, but that's my
absolutely.
mindset.
And it is a business. I mean,
it's a business.
The ultimate goal is this takes so much time, so much effort. You want to make a little profit at the end.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're a little guy, a little producer, you give them away as gifts, all that stuff. Yeah, that works because it is saving money and not buying a gift. But the ultimate goal is to make some money.
Everybody's in this game to make a buck. I mean, I don't know who can afford to spend the money and just give it away.
No,
I
absolutely.
don't know.
We're all trying to make money. It just depends on the scale of how much profit you're making. But you're also not putting in as much as we're not putting in as much money as someone like you are putting in.
Correct.
So it's all relative.
But it is though. But you are you're smaller, but it's still costing you. You got to buy jugs.
Right.
The jugs are the same price for you as for me. You might be buying less, but I might be buying more.
Exactly.
You still got to buy spouts every year.
Right.
So
those
it's just a smaller scale, but
less.
it's still because you don't have as much coming in.
Correct.
I might have more coming in, but I got to spend more.
Got more going. Exactly. It's all relative. It all flows the same.
All right, so we're going to get into that magic time. We're going to wrap this one up. One thing with this bad season episode, what's your worst bad season? If you want to comment, you want to let us know.
Comment.
And for you guys out there, just understand, reflect back on your bad seasons, try to correct them, and understand you are not alone.
Oh, no.
We have all done it, and you ask anybody that's made maple, they burn a pan, or they've
dumped
sap, had a truck breakdown, couldn't get it, whatever it may be.
Hit deer.
Hit deer.
I hit a deer with mine last year hauling sap. And then
You got a
the
little
old
sap
man-
on. The brakes don't work too good, probably.
the old man, I can go on and on about him. He left the valve open on my tank, didn't even hook it up. So the first, 100 gallons of 10% concentrate went right on the ground.
Oh no!
He didn't even want to tell me that, but he did. I wouldn't even told me. But I got cameras up there. So.
Yeah. Another thing, I'm gonna put my email. It's gonna be Mountaintop Maple's email in the description of the video and it's in the Facebook page. So shoot us an email with any of your stories, and I'll print them off and we'll read them and react to them. Or like if you want to record a little video or a little sound note or whatever, and email that over to us, we'll react to that as well. Or comment, same thing. So
Yeah,
that'll be a fun thing.
yeah. This is getting fun, boys.
Story time, you know.
Yeah, and let us know what we need to fix. We're going to try to get maybe some better microphones coming up.
Eventually,
we'll
the
see.
podcast equipment is expensive.
Yeah,
so.
things are expensive, so we're just kind of playing around. Hopefully,
We've got an array of cameras going on. Over
We got a
there.
lot of money in cameras right now.
Oh, boy.
hopefully you guys can hear it good. Hopefully it looks good if
Yeah.
you're watching.
Yeah, give us the feedback.
Yeah.
Please send us some feedback for sure. We'll
'Cause-
we'll tweak it for sure.
Because I enjoy doing it. I'm
Oh,
sure
it's
you guys
fun. Yeah,
enjoy
it's
it.
fun, yeah.
I mean, it can 30 minutes pop off just like that talking, and if we can educate some people and tell them our stories,
It's fun talking, and we can get people on too.
because the YouTube shows you what's going on. Excuse me, but we can just free talk about it because there's a lot of stuff you don't see on video.
Oh, a lot of stuff.
Probably 90% of this we just talked about. You might not even
Correct.
see.
You might not see it.
Never see. Right.
So yeah,
I was gonna do another one. Thanks for watching. Again,
All
go
right.
check out all the YouTubes. Mountaintop Maple on YouTube, CrestView Maple Farm on YouTube, and all that on Facebook. He's got Instagram, and then go follow Tapped In on all platforms as well. So
thanks for coming, man. It's been fun.
it's been great. Another
All right.
one done.